All right, my name is Stephanie Comella, and we're here with PD Active for our Neuro-Movement class. You need a nice open space to move around in and roll around in, and it's nice to have a few pillows nearby that you can simply just grab if you need them to support more cushion or to support your body in certain positions. So grab a pillow. I just have this fancy pad from PT Land. The class, if you're new to class today, is a mixture of Pilates, primal movement, rolling around on the floor, sensory integration, which both gives you this mobility training practice with brain training, and then also some strengthening involved in that as well to help you be better at moving around on the floor and getting up off the floor. So that's the basis of today's class, or the class in general. Let's have you start by laying on your back and have your feet about mat width apart, or what mat width apart would be. I'm gonna take off my socks so I have a little bit more grip and more sensory integration to the floor. And just start with moving your feet around on the mat. You can kind of grip with the toes, pulling the texture of the floor, whatever happens to be underneath you, whether that's a yoga mat or carpet or a rug. Bringing your awareness to the bottoms of your feet and feeling what's going on there. Do the same thing with your hands. Let your hands feel the ground, either the slippery yoga mat, the sticky yoga mat. Maybe you go off your yoga mat to feel what's underneath you. My vinyl plank here it's not super smooth. Kind of narrating to myself, oh, there's like little grooves in there that's trying to mimic a wood grain. Find something interesting about the surface that you're working on. From here, widen out your feet about mat width apart and let your knees drop from side to side. Oh, I love this one. Letting your body twist. And then leveling up this movement here, we're going to bring the arms out into a T. And trying to keep your shoulders heavy on the ground as your hips rotate. Turn your head and eyes to the side, the hand of the knee opposite of your knees dropping. So your head is turning opposite of where your knees fall. Winding up the spine, giving your entire spine a coil all the way through from your tail to the base of your neck, or base of your skull, I should say. One more time there. And then center up. Walk your feet underneath your hip bones again. So you should be about hip width apart now. Tap your feet just to give you a little bit more of that sensory integration. We're going to go for your first bridge. Press your hips up towards the ceiling. Let yourself settle into this position with the hips high and lifted. Notice your feet on the ground again. Feel the texture. Pull your attention all the way to the ends of your body. Same thing with your hands. Move your hands around. Grip the floor a little bit with your fingertips. And then go ahead and articulate yourself down to the mat. So we're going to start at the top of the spine and have that part touch the mat first, and then roll through one vertebrae at a time, bringing your torso to the mat, slow and controlled, one segment at a time, one piece. Go ahead and press up again. Settle yourself in the bridge, feel your feet, do a little grip with the feet, a little grip with the fingertips, and then articulate your spine one vertebrae at a time, rolling down to the mat. Good. And we'll go ahead and do that a few more times. Go ahead and move at your own pace here. Don't wait for me to narrate. It's going to be the same movement over a little bit, a little time interval here. Connecting to your feet and your hands every time you bring the hips up. We've talked about this in the past, that by bringing awareness and attention and activation of the places that are at the end of your body, so like fingertips and toes, you inherently integrate everything in between your brain and that point. Let's do one more time here, pressing up and rolling down. Looking good. Let your left leg go long on the mat. I'm gonna move this pillow so my feet feel better. Long on the mat, and bring your right knee into tabletop, grab behind your thigh. Kick your heel up towards the ceiling, point your foot, and then bend your knee to come down. Flex the foot and kick vertical, point the foot and lower through. Nice. So we're just going a little choreography with the ankle, getting the knee joint and the ankle joint to move simultaneously. Try to reach through that other leg that's still on the ground. Keep that heavy on the floor. So dorsiflexing your foot and getting that length through both legs. Let's go one more time. Good. And last one, we're going to hold the leg in a tabletop position, but we're going to let go with our hands. So now we have to use our core and our hip flexors to hold the leg up. Let your knee drip across the body and to the other side, giving you a twist. And then pull your leg up towards the ceiling. Cross the body again, let yourself twist, and then center. All right, so assuming we're all on the same page, we have our right knee crossing over, yes? We're gonna let our eyes go to the right hand as your leg goes across. So right eyes go to right hand. Lock your gaze on your thumb, and then bring your eyes to the ceiling as the knee comes center. So everything sort of goes up, and then everything goes off to the side. Everything goes up, everything goes off to the side. One more time there. And release. Now, for those of you that want a little up level, we're going to do the same thing with the legs straight. So squeeze your quad, knee is on, you can keep the foot pointed. Okay. Option, still do it with the knee bent or straight legs, same choreography, we cross over. Eyes go right, lift your leg up towards the ceiling, eyes go center. Yeah, so either bent leg or straight leg. We're just gonna do it for 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Nice job. Slide that leg out where it came from. Both legs are on the mat, yeah? Left leg in tabletop, grab behind your thigh. Active hamstring stretch. We're gonna flex your foot and kick, point the foot and bend. Flex the foot and kick, point the foot and bend. A little bit of coordination between the knee and the ankle. Your right leg is out long and dorsiflex. Press down into the ground. Flex and kick, point and lower. Flex and kick, point and lower. One more time. And we're gonna hold the leg in tabletop, hands come down by your side. You have to hold that leg now, hip flexor and low abs. Knee is gonna come across the body and you're gonna look to your left thumb. Center your gaze up towards the ceiling as the leg comes back. Cross the leg over, your hip's gonna lift a little bit, look towards your left thumb. Eye gaze is gonna lock on the thumb and then up towards the ceiling. It's important that you focus in on that one specific thing between the 2 positions. We go open, over, and up. Pause. Up level if you would like. Kick your leg up towards the ceiling, squeeze your quad, kneecap is tight. Same choreography, we cross over, look to the left thumb, and then center eyes to the ceiling. And we're gonna go 4 more times, either with a straight leg or a bent leg. Yes, nice. Can you keep your left shoulder heavy on the ground? Oh, I got a little crack, free adjustment, nice. Last one. Love it, and return, slide the leg out where it came from. From here, we're gonna roll off to the side in a fetal position. Any side will do, any side will do. We're gonna press up into a little twisted mermaid sit. We've been working on this one, we have, right? Here we go. Push-ups, narrow elbows for 10. Here we go down, ear touches the mat, and then we push up, look up on the diagonal. We lower down, ear to mat, and then eyes up on the diagonal. You're gonna go for 8 more, so 10 total. Go ahead and move through that at your own pace. Good. Some of you will enjoy the up level option. Kick the leg up as you lower down. and then fold the leg in as you come up. All right, we're gonna go for about 5 more. There's your up level option. 2, 3, good. Reach your heel, dorsiflex the foot. 4, and one more time. Nice job. 5. The hand that's closest to me is gonna stretch forward. We're gonna reach up, rotate, open. Love it. Sweep past your heel, sweep forward. We go up, reach open, big stretch. Push through the hand that's on the floor right now. You got to work through that shoulder. That shoulder is what is creating this rotation right here. Good. One more time. Big pinwheel, lift up and over. Awesome. From here, we're going to switch into a hands and knees position. So we're going to drive through those arms, push through your knees, and then separate your knees so that you're in hands and knees. There's Alana. All right, so getting yourself in hands and knees position. I'm just gonna do a setting here. Make sure everyone stays muted. Okay. All right, so we're in hands and knees. Separate your fingers really, really wide. Let's have you tuck your toes as well. We're gonna get a little stretch through the bottoms of the feet. Sit the hips back over your heels. When you sit your hips back, I want you to think extension. So open heart, eyes are up, sit bones are flared, low back is arched. And then we're gonna drive ourselves over the wrists and come into the opposite of that, flexion. Round your spine, look between your knees.
Are you just starting the class?
What was that?
Are you just starting the class?
No, we are in it. We are 19 minutes in.
So 19 minutes, I'm trying to get in. I cannot. I just got.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and get situated on the floor.
Okay, so I'm sorry, but 20 minutes I'm trying. Okay.
You're all good. We're in hands and knees. Okay. We're getting people in too. Deborah's coming back in. All right. Hands and knees. We're rocking forward and back. Go ahead and move through that while I do all these little settings here. The love-hate relationship with Zoom, right? All right. So we're sitting back in extension. Eyes are up. Come forward into flexion. Sit back into extension and forward into a flexion. Nice. So it's a little bit more dynamic than a cat cow. Think cat cow, but we're moving. We're shifting. Yes. Eyes up. Look at something. Find something to look at. Remember that focus. And then drop. 2 more. And last one. Beautiful. Nice job. All right. We're going to come in. Bend your knees in and take a seat on the side that you did not do last time. And I know that everyone's going to be on a little different side because I didn't get us all on the same page to begin with. Yeah. And we're going to come into that twisted mermaid sit or side sit. And we have another set of 10 push-ups here. We're going to bring the ear to the mat as you come down. And then push away, eyes come up, lock your gaze on something in front of you. All right. I'm going to have us do 10 total. So work at a pace that makes sense for you. Try to get as much range of motion as you can. If you want that up level option, you kick when you bring your ear down and then fold the leg in as you bring your eyes up. All right. Nice. I've got 5 more, but you do you. Work at a pace that makes sense. Nice job. It's going to be a stretch on one of those wrists and one of those shoulders. I know that's kind of the point. Yes. We have to have that mobility to be able to push off the mat. Yep, 2 more on my count, but you do you. Last one. Beautiful. Hand that's closest to me. Stretch forward. Let it come up and around. Push through the hand that's on the ground. Rotate behind you. Sweep past your heels. Stretch forward. Can you reach to the corner of the mat? So your heart comes to the mat. There you go. Nice range, everyone. Good. Bigger than you think you need to, right? Bigger than you think you need to. Push through the hand that's on the ground. Reach, lift, and open. One more time. Stretch through, up, and return. We're going to come into those hands and knees again. Hand comes down. Push through your knees. Bring yourself up. Good. I'm assuming everyone's good with this pace, okay? You like wave the white flag if I'm going too fast. All right, we're gonna do the rocking again, tuck your toes. This time, however, we're gonna rock back and round. Shift forward and extend. So opposite of what we did last time. Rock back and round. Forward, extend. Can we coordinate these things? Moving cat-cow. Good. Let's go 3 more. 2 more. And last one, team. Nice job. All right, we're gonna come down onto our hip again. Let's get everyone on the same page though. So let's have you drop onto your left hip. Onto your left hip, and we're gonna come down onto the left elbow. Okay, here's your model pose. Everyone's on the same page. Legs are going this way. Yeah. So now I can cue left and right and no one's confused. Okay, here we go. Left elbows on the mat. Push the ground away and then let your shoulder shrug up towards your ear. Push the ground away, let your shoulder shrug. Push the ground away, let the shoulder shrug. Nice. Just this little bit. Now, when you let your shoulder shrug, let your ribs also drop to the mat. Maybe you get a little side bend. And then you're gonna go side bend almost in the opposite direction. Let's bring the arm up. So we're gonna go side bend down, shoulder shrug. Do you see how that evolves from just a little shoulder shrug and now we're getting the whole torso involved? Yeah. Last one. Push up. Nice work. Hand on the mat. We're gonna transition onto hands. Bring your right elbow down, left elbow down, right hand up, left hand up, okay? So transitioning from elbows to hands here. Good. We're gonna go 3 more cycles-ish, kind of a time interval. Do what you can in that time period. 1 more time, stay up on your hands. Good. All right, hand on your hip, please. We're gonna stack the knees a little bit more underneath one another, or on top of one another. So instead of being sort of in the stagger, we'll be a bit more stacked. I always seem to wear black on Thursdays, don't I? A little hard to see. All right, from here, we're gonna push down through our shoulder and we're gonna see if we can lift the hips up and forward. So now we're in this short plank, yeah? And then the hips come back and down and then we can shrug the shoulder. So we go unshrug, drive the hips up and forward, hips come back, and then shrug. Love it. Push, drive the hips, nice, and return and down. 2 more. Good. And last one. Push, and return and down. Split the feet, so the bottom knee came forward, and we're gonna come into a Z sit. Some of you may still need to be propped a little bit, but try your best to get as much upright as you can, okay? Your hand is now still on your hip. We're gonna roll the hip bone forward to the opposite knee pit, and then settle the hip down to the mat behind you. The hip's gonna roll forward. There's this spiraling effect, and then roll it down, okay? Some of you may find that having a pillow underneath your booty is a bit helpful here to create some space. If you feel really tight in your hips, throw a pillow underneath. You got it. Nice. Yep. 1 more there. Excellent. And then reset. We're going to slide this knee back underneath where it came from. You may need to pop that pillow back out now that you just did that, right? We'll come back to it. So that's something that you know that you need when we do Z-sit. All right, we're going to do the short bridges again, or the short side planks again. If you enjoyed and were challenged by the previous version, the version that we already did, you can stay there. I'm going to show an up level option for those that want to increase the challenge. Okay. So right here, we start with the shoulder shrug, push the ground away, float the hips up, and you're either going to hold or you're gonna float your top leg. Hips come down, shoulders shrug down. Okay, so you have options. Push, lift, either hold or lift the top leg down and then roll down, shrug. You know it. Here we go. Up. Repetition. Squeeze the booty forward. Good. This is like clamshells 5.0. Yes? Clamshells 5.0. Here we go. Down and shrug. We got 3 more. Push, float, drive the knee up. Yes. Push, drive the knee up. Awesome job, team. One more time. We go up, lift, and float. Bring it home. Nice job. All right, swing those legs forward, swing them around, maybe shake out that wrist and a little much. We're gonna come down onto your elbow here with the hand on your hip. And we're gonna do the same series all on this side. Let's see if I can remember it all. All right, we started with shoulder shrug up, shoulder push, just this little bit, okay? This is like foundational 101. So if any of this stuff, as it comes later, gets a little too wild for you, you can always come down to this, okay? All right, we added shoulder and ribs drop. Ribs lift as you push away, arm comes up. Drop and lower, lift and push. Nice. And you can add some breath pattern to this. Why not? We go inhale when we open, exhale when you close. Maybe last one. Good. And return. We're going to do those transitions. Left hand comes to the mat. Right hand comes to the mat. Left elbow comes down. That takes some mobility. Right elbow. Left hand, left elbow, right elbow. Go ahead and move through this for a time interval. You can move as fast or slow as you need to go. We're going to do it for about 15 more seconds. So whatever you can fit in that time period. Nice. And those strong shoulders, triceps. Yeah. Good. We'll go one more and then finish with your hands on the mat. So your elbows are straight. And we're going to take our hand on our hip for those short planks. Okay, round 1 short planks. Here we go. We're going to shrug the shoulder up. This is where we'll start. Remember, we shrug away. We lift the hips and we squeeze the booty forward. Hips come down, shoulder shrugs, ribs drop. Push, shrug and lift. Down and lower. Nicely done. Now, if this is too much, right, you don't have to do the hip lift, just do the shoulder shrug. Okay? Push. Good. And in addition to getting the hips to come up, make sure you're driving them forward. Okay, so it's like up and forward. Okay, we got 3 more right here. Push, lift, down and lower. Last one, we go up with the shrug and drive the hips. Nice, and down, perfect. Z-sit, if you know yourself to need that pillow, grab it now. Bottom leg is gonna slide forward. And I know some of you may have to still use this hand on the ground for propping, but if you can get yourself upright, by all means, let's go upright. Okay, I'm just gonna have my hand here for those that wanna look like me. We're gonna bring the hip to the opposite knee pit and then draw the hip back and down. So from the side, it's like my hip lifts forward. It's like a little glute squeeze, a bridge almost, and then the hip drops down as far as it'll go, okay? Remember, this is my job to be flexible. So if you don't look like me, it's okay. Just try your best. Yeah. Good. Nice. Getting that mobility in your hip, this internal and external rotation of your femur, super important for efficient gait. All right, we'll go 2 more. And last one. Good, good. And then bring it down. We're going to slide your knee underneath it again so that they're stacked. Short planks, round 2. Remember, it's the leg lift if you choose to accept. Otherwise, you're just going to hold a static plank up while everyone else is doing or while other people are doing the leg lift. So we'll start in the shrug, push, rib lift, hips come forward and up, either hold or leg lift. Hips come down and then shrug. Unshrug, hips, leg lift, nice, down and return. You got it. Push, hips up. Woo. And return down. Nice job. We go up, press, float. 4 more, please. Are we picking up the pace a little bit on the second side? Yeah. Drop, drive. Good. 2 more. Squeeze the hips forward. Nice. And 1 more time. And if you are at a different pace than me, no big deal. You finish up your reps. Be responsible for that. Don't worry about us. Okay? Nice job. Shake out that wrist. We're going to come onto a seated position, into a seated position. See if you can do so with your legs straight. Yeah, shake out your wrists. I know that was a lot of wrist stuff. Okay, let's assess how the seated position feels for you, and let's talk about some modifications to make this more acceptable. All right, so if you're sitting here and you're super rounded, or you feel like you're gonna fall backwards, just bend your knees up a little bit. That's gonna help you get on your sit bones. Another option is to do that, and or sit on a little bit of a pillow. This is gonna give you some more space in your hamstrings so that you can actually sit up tall and start using those back muscles. If you're flexed like this, you're not using your back muscles. Just sit up nice and tall and you can bend your knees, okay? Right here, we're gonna dorsiflex your feet and then point your feet. Dorsiflex and point. Dorsiflex and point. Nice. And working your shin muscles, yes, to get those feet to come up. Try not to pull your heels in when you dorsiflex. Keep the heels in one spot. You're just moving the top of your foot. Okay. We're gonna hold the dorsiflexion. Yes. One hand behind, next to your head, like on your temple. And we're gonna rotate to that side. You should have done the other side. So I'm gonna have my left hand on my temple. I'm gonna use my right hand for leverage. I'm gonna push off my knee and rotate behind. Take your eyes to your elbow. Good, and then return, switch to the other temple, use your free hand as leverage, push into your thigh to help you rotate, and then return. Nice job. Keep moving from side to side. Now, a couple of things to consider. If you are flexed like this, it's gonna be really hard to get that juicy rotation that I'm looking for. So again, make sure that you're in a position that you're nice and tall and your low back muscles are working. Use a pillow, sit on a box, sit on a chair if you need to. Make that room so that you can use your back muscles. Good. Let's do 1 more on each side. Rotate. You got it. Rotate and return. Nice job. All right, we're gonna bring our hands behind us and walk the feet in a bit more. For tabletop bridges, you know what that is, you know what's coming. If this version doesn't feel right for you, lay on your back and do the bridges that we did at the beginning of class, all right? We're gonna start like we did at the beginning of class. Feel the texture underneath your feet. Do a little bit of movement through those feet, those toes. Make sure that you're connecting your brain into your feet. We need to use our feet in our bridges. All right, nice and strong through those shoulders as well. Press your hips up so that your hips are level with your thighs. You see how it's a straight line. Yes. Push them up a little bit more because sometimes perception is different than reality. Good. And then tap your hips down. Press your hips up towards the ceiling. Big squeeze. And then down. Nice job. We're going to keep going into that full bridge. Take a moment at the top of your bridge to give you that extra inch. Like go as high as you think you need to, and then go just a little bit more. Because I know that you always have an extra millimeter to move. Nice. We're going to go for 2 more. Your neck abs are working. Your regular abs are working. Your booty is working. Last one. Good. And then return. Slide your legs out, lift yourself up. We're in our seated posture again. Okay, we're gonna work on those rotations again. I know a love-hate relationship with this position, plus rotation is really hard. The more you do it, the better it gets, I promise. Up level option, you're gonna have hand on your temple, cross the opposite arm to the outside of your thigh, and use that as leverage for your rotations. You're sort of pulling across and rotating back. Should give you a little bit more even. Hand to temple, cross the body, pull on the leg as you rotate behind you. And center, go ahead and move through that a few times. Now, up level option number 3, we're not going to use the arms as leverage at all. You're going to hold both hands at temples and rotate through just the trunk. So now you have to use your back muscles and your oblique abdominals to get the rotation. You don't have leverage. All right. Take a moment on either side to exhale. Squeeze out all of that air, look behind you, and then center. Eye gaze over the shoulder. Let's go one more each side, whatever version you're on. And last one. Excellent. Return. Hands come back. Walk the feet in. Tabletop bridges, round 2. Round 2, we're going to give you an up level option. You can choose to take it or leave it. Up level option is a single leg version. So we're going to bring both feet towards one another. Shoulders are strong, feet are planted. Press your hips up toward the ceiling and hold. We're going to bring one leg up off the ground. Lower your hips down, press up, switch to the other side. Lower down, press up, switch to the other side. This got really wild quickly, didn't it? So you have single leg option, or you can stick with the double leg option, right? Just so we did on the last set. Nice. Try to switch at the top of your bridge. We're going to go 2 more. So finish on the side that you did not start with if you're doing the single leg. And then return, hips down, legs out straight, and just go for a forward fold stretch. Find something that feels good on your back, roll out your ankle or roll out your wrists.
Grab some water right now if you need to. It's a good time. And
awesome. We're going to transition into your hands and knees position. So however you want to get there, let's grab quadruped, 4-pedal, 4-point. I'm going to turn a little bit so you can see this angle. All right, so once you get here, we're just going to do some rocking, just as we did before. Pick if you want to grab a little cat-cow. I'm kind of waiting for a few people to get into position. This will be a little holding pattern. All right, we're going to do one more of these. And then we have the option to bring your left leg out to the side. All right, now, when we say left leg out to the side, I want you to look and see if you can get your foot on the same plane as your knee. So if you have a little tightness in the adductors, your foot might want to be back a little bit. Try to slide it forward so it's on the same plane. Another thing I want you to look at is whether you defaulted to being on the edge of your foot, like the inside edge, or were you able to flatten the foot, which is going to be a stretch on the side of your ankle. I'd like you to strive for something more on the flat-footed side. Okay? We're going to do that same rocking forward and back. So get your hands in position, sit the hips back, and then pull forward. And then the challenge here, yes, is to keep that foot flat through the movement. All right, we're going to be stretching the side of those ankles. Let's go about 3 or 4 more of those. And we're going to do something with that stretched out leg. Go ahead and even out your weight between your 2 hands and your knee that's on the ground. So basically you're in a 3-point. We're now going to point the foot that's outstretched. Slide it behind you. Cross it behind you as far as you'll go. Look at your foot. Whoa. Slide it back out to the side and then look at your foot as it comes over here, okay? So your eyes are gonna come forward and then meet on the other side. And then we slide and we look out. I know, right? Team, you're looking good. Nice job, stay with it. It's an exploration of hip mobility and your sensation, yes. Good, just sliding that leg, great. We have, yeah, both hands on the mat there, Bill. Good, and last one. Awesome. Bend that knee in and sit back into a little child's pose. Did your standing leg get a little work too? Yeah. Okay, same thing on the other side. We got two sides. Here we go, shift forward. I'm not gonna say right or left. I don't remember what I said on the other side. The other leg. Okay. Let's see if we can get this leg roughly in the same plane as your knee or as close to it as you can. And then working to be a flat foot as well. Try to be as flat as you can. We're gonna shift the hips back and then shift forward. Nice job, Carrie, looking strong. Shifting forward and back. So now that propulsion forward, the push through your knee forward, the responsibility is now on one leg, which is the same as when you're walking, right? I think you're pushing forward on one leg at a time. Let's go last rocking here. And now we'll do the sweeps. Point your foot, sweep the leg around. It can stay on the mat. I'm running into my piece of something here. It can stay on the mat. Look at it as it goes from side to side. All right, how far up? Maybe some of you are flexible enough that the leg can come forward, maybe to the plane towards your hand. Yeah, nice. And allow your spine to side bend. Like if you were seeing me from on top, I'd be doing this with my spine in that motion. So allow your spine to side bend like a lizard. Yeah, there you go, Adam. Good. Two more. Nice job. Bend that knee in. Take the weight off your wrist and sit back into child's pose or something restorative, something that takes the weight off your wrist. All right, so those of you that have been coming in October, you know we've been working on kneeling balance, so things in kneeling. We always tuck it in right at the end of class here. So we're gonna go ahead and bring ourselves up into a high kneeling position. Let's talk quickly about the transition from quadruped to high kneeling. We call this cat stretch, and we've been working on this. Take your hands behind you on the small of your back, and we're gonna bow forward, keeping your chest and your back flat. So try not to let gravity take you over, right? We wanna have activation of our back muscles. Your eyes are looking beyond your mat. We're gonna take the fingertips to the ground, and then let your weight be absorbed by them and shift forward. Shift the hips back again. See if you can stay low. So like, notice that my torso shape doesn't really change when I bring both hands to my low back. And then we're gonna push through the knees to come upright. So no hands, bow. Hands settle down, shift forward, accept the load. Nice. And again, it's sort of that, it's proving to yourself like, can I have control in that hinge position without putting weight? Yeah. Hinge, take a moment, hover above the ground with a flat back, booties back. Then grab the hands down, then shift weight into them. Shift back, hands and hinge. Good. Two more. Hinge. Take a moment here in the hinge. Prove to yourself, how long can you hold it? Yes. Hands are going to touch, but no weight through them. Then put weight through them. Then shift back. Then no weight through them. Then up. Let's do that one more time because I know that was an exploration. Hinge. Prove to yourself. Hands come down, no weight. Yep. Then shift forward weight. Shift back. Hands back. Press up. Nice. All right. From here, we're going to bring your right leg forward. I'm sorry, this would be your left leg, but I'm going to do this right leg for you. Yeah. Now, if you know yourself to need a chair or something to hold on to, please do what you need to do. Okay. I want you to be successful. So if I was holding on to a chair, I realize I don't have a chair in here. I'd be holding on to it in front here. Shift. So this leg, I want it out a little bit to the side. So a 45-degree angle out. It's not directly in front of you. We're going to shift off to the side. Try to get your knee to go over your toes. And of course, you're going to get a stretch on those inner thighs and then push back. Okay. So we're trying to go on the diagonal, lean your body over and then back. Note that there's a difference between doing this, right? And like this illusion of like, yeah, I'm leaning over. No. I want you to lean through the hips. Okay. So try to get your knee over your toes and then back. Okay. Great. If you're not holding on to a chair, let's go ahead and bring your arms in a T. So it's kind of a warrior position here. We're stretching in and then driving back. Good. Eyes are going to go then just beyond the front fingernails, the middle finger, as you shift forward and back. Last layer would be shift forward, look past your fingernails, shift back, look at your back fingernails, shift forward, front fingernails, back fingernails. Okay, so bringing in sensory, eyes, movement, vestibular, weight shifting. Yes. Let's go one more of whatever version you're on. Yeah. Grab onto your chair if you need to, slide the leg back. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Left leg comes forward. Use your chair if you need to. There you go, Lana. The legs out a little bit on the angle. Shift out and shift back. Okay. Focus on getting that knee forward of your toes. And then back. Nice job. Forward and back. Yep. Forward and back. All right. If you're not using a chair, or you can have one hand on a chair, the other hand's outstretched. Yep. Take your eyes beyond your front fingernails. Continuing to get the knee over toes. You're going to up level for that last sensory experience. So your eyes go forward as you shift forward. Eyes go back as you shift back. Eyes go forward as you shift forward. Eyes go back. Nice job. Good. And taking note, like when you turn your head, how does that influence your balance? When you change your eye lock, when you have to make those eyes move around, it's going to challenge your balance a little bit more. So you can use that information to either help you find more stability, like you would lock your eyes on something stable if you need more balance. Let's go one more time. Love it. And then tuck that leg in. All right, we're going to sit the hips back towards the heels. Some of you may not have the range of motion that I have here. If that's the case, you can bring a pillow behind you and sit back on a pillow. And then press your hips forward. Sit the hips back. Take a seat on your heels or a pillow that's on your heels and then forward. So let go of the tension in your body. When you sit back, let go, like sit down. And then pull yourself hips forward. Nice. Let's go 2 more. And last one. All right. We are going to switch this up a little bit. I'm just going to turn to face front. We're going to rotate your left leg. See if you can fold that leg through. Another way that you can get into this is by sitting on the floor and finding your Z-sit. Okay, with or without a pillow. We talked about that. From here, you're going to lean off into your hand. So your left leg's in front, yeah? You're going to lean into your left hand. Press the hips forward. Lift yourself up. That is tricky. Hand comes down to the mat. Hips come down. And if you can, release your hand back to your hips. Do that. Okay, some version of that, you make it your own. Hands come off, you press, you can lift up into your high or bring the hand down and then return and take a seat. Okay, some version of that. Some of you may be just doing from the bottom. Some of you may be doing just from the top. Okay, find a version that makes sense for you. We're going to go for whatever version that is for about 20 more seconds. Just practice your version. There you go. About 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. We have the other side to do. And then that gives us 2 options on how to get from like a low position to a kneeling position, right? We did the hinge, the no hands hinge, and now we have the Z-sit press. Try your Z-sit either with a pillow or without. Hand comes off to the side. This leg's in front, yeah. We have hip press, hand to hip, hand down, nice Alana, and then lower the hips down. Or some version, we're gonna work for 40 seconds. Go ahead and move through whichever segment or full segment or challenge that you would like. Now, of course, if you wanna up level this even further, especially when you do it toward the end, you would go no hands in one or both directions, okay? And you can use your arms to counterbalance. So whatever version, as I said, everyone's got their own thing going on. About 15 seconds to go. Yeah. Good. I know this is such an obscure movement for our hips. It's beautiful. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Let's have you roll onto your back. Right at the end of class here, we're going to finish how we started. So go ahead and lay on your back. Grab a pillow if you'd like for underneath your head. Sometimes that's nice. And have your feet about mouth width apart. We're going to let the knees drape off to one side. Let the knees drape off to the other side. Go ahead and move through that. Right, left, right, left. Let your breath calm down a bit, let your heart rate calm down a bit, let your brain come down a bit. You've been thinking so hard for the last 55 minutes on your body and how it's moving. Give yourself a little bit of blank space before you head out on the day. Think about some of the drills we did today. We did some side planking, cat cow, moving cat cow, Z-sit, tabletop bridges, long sitting rotation. Those kneeling transitions we did right at the end. Think back in the class, what was challenging for you today? What felt really good and juicy on your hips, or your shoulders, your spine? And pick one drill that you want to practice for the next 6 days. Which exercise are you going to practice for the next 6 days? And then going one step further to plan when you're going to do that practice. Attach it to something that you already do. It's called habit stacking. So if you have a list of exercises that you do every morning, let's just add that one drill that we did today that's new for your brain. Newness is important for growth. All right, go ahead and bend your knees in towards your chest. And we're going to draw the head and shoulders up. Give your feet some kicks so that you can rock through your back, rolling like a ball. Eventually, you may be able to get yourself to sit upright. Roll the shoulders one time and release. Nice job, team. Way to show up. and try something new, some of you, and welcome back for some of you. I'm going to turn off the recording and open up the floor if you have questions, comments.